All right, so who's ready for some astrology? Okay, so it's Wednesday, it's the 8th of July, and we have astrology here for you, daily Astrocat Astrology. So, Wednesday, and the moon is in Aries and is void of course at 2:42 p.m. The moon enters Taurus at 4:31 p.m. Now, look, the morning is great for engaging in Gemini fashion with Gemini things like communication, okay, or building networks or something like that, right? When the moon is square Mercury, that indicates a time to reach out, or else we run the danger of getting lost in our own heads. That's right, we can sink right into our own behinds, but if we take the initiative and we take a little bit of action this morning, we can actually build some networks and stuff like that, okay? Now, the moon trines Venus just as she is void of course, and it's our urge to communicate. As our urge to communicate wanes. Okay, so we're just not there. With the moon entering Taurus, the emphasis becomes beauty and our outward facial appearance. Okay. Remain focused on health and ignore things that they're trying to pull you too far forward. Okay, like that vanity thing, right? Look, you've got this, okay? I don't even know what that hair is doing there, but that's okay. But you do have this, right? So, look, we have to just watch, because the promise of quick money is an over-exaggeration, right? And the moon is square Jupiter, and Jupiter in Leo is trying to get us to magnify what is due to us, right? We deserve it. It's go slow. Okay, you got to go slow, because this is where we're at. Just remember that in order to receive, we have to show up for work. All right, and today's keyword is composure, and the color is melted chocolate on asphalt. So keep your emotions in check today and try to maintain your composure. All right, we've had a lot of Aries things that have been happening in terms of little fender benders and accidents and stuff like that. Chill out. Get the communication part done this morning, and that way you're acting in a proper motion with the energy that's out there, right? For the lack of a better word, with the energy that's out there. Venus is going to be entering the anaretic degree of Taurus later on in the day, and it'll be there until tomorrow, right? When Venus actually leaves Leo and enters Virgo. So this is going to be a very needed change, right? Because right now we're just running kind of like, it's all glitz, it's all show, it's all something, right? There's a lot of show going on. There's a lot of, the whole, just look at social media and look at the events surrounding the World Cup. There was a lot of stuff that was there for show. And there's a lot of stuff that's just now starting to get hammered into the ground because it was popular one time, but now it's just bam, 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 and it's just made to look more and more ridiculous. So that's part of a little like a trend, right? It's not only is it a trend, but it's a progression. So look, Venus entering that anaretic degree, that's that last degree, right? That's what we call that, of Taurus. It amplifies the bad things, right? It makes it more stubborn. It makes it more wanting beauty, more indulgence, right? Taurus loves a good meal. Anaretic degree, more, right? More is better, right? So, look, Venus is going to want to be indulgent as you know what, right? Even though she is trine with Chiron and Taurus. Oh, really? The anaretic degree is going to trump that, right? Yeah, because Chiron's kind of far out there, and it's not a huge planet. It doesn't affect our void of course moons or anything like that. So, what we're really looking at is we're looking at this. I've got a cat moving out from behind my legs, so that's why I look a little surprised. Hello, Willie. How are you? Okay, give him a quick pet. All right. So anyway, okay. Hi, Will. Bye, Will. This is how we can get distracted, right? Okay, so look, maybe allowing yourself to be overly indulgent is your Chiron and Taurus issue that you're trying to work through, right? That wound, that whatever that is. Look, this Venus in the anaretic degree of Leo, that's not going to help. Not one bit. You're going to want more, right? Venus wants all that stuff. She deserves that stuff, right? It's due. Right. In Taurus, that's food. That's what we want. That's the goodies. That's everything, right? Now, Appearances will be all that matters today and tonight. Honestly, that's really what she's thinking about, right? So it is how it's seen. Okay, food, desserts, and sweets are not only deserved, but they're demanded. It's easy to fall off course today, so maintain your composure and don't give in. That's kind of easier said than done. Look, this morning uses the last remaining bit of. We're going to use the last remaining bit of our Venus charm that we've been working on to rally others to our cause. Think of your network as growing under the surface, like mycelium, right? Those rhizomes just stretching out, communicating via chemicals and everything like that. Once the moon enters Taurus, we have a few brief hours to align the moon with Chiron. All right, so we're going to align those feelings, align all that stuff, and we'll be able to put together a plan to maybe help thwart Venus as she starts saying more, and the moon decides to get a little bit greedier as well, because Venus, after all, is the ruler of Taurus. So with Venus feeling that way of, oh, I deserve more of these things, that impulse to overindulge is going to override everything else. So just come up with a mechanism. It's... I don't know. Is one day, is it worth it or not? And that's going to be up to you. It really is. It's not anything to do with, what you should do or should not do. It's just up to what you want to do. All right. So look, feeling entitled and if Venus is feeling entitled, that's going to lead to some distortions in what and how we are presenting. And we want to avoid that part, really. We don't want to present just because we deserve it, right? We want to make sure that we're working for it and that, this too shall pass, right? Because Venus is going to enter into Virgo very quickly, and that's going to be a totally different story. Nothing is due to you, okay? It must be worked for. So maintain your composure once again. And now, that moon in Taurus is ruled by that voracious Venus entering the energetic degree of Leo. That's right. We already told you about that part, right? This kitty has fangs, and she's not afraid to use them. Going down this road is sure to piss a lot of people off. So look around and notice who is behaving in this manner. All right, because this doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? It happens all around. So look around and you'll be able to spot the behavior, spot the overindulging, I deserve this behavior. Self-centered behavior gets you nowhere, and tomorrow's wake-up call will demand not only answers, but receipts as well. Okay, so got a fun one here for you, right? In 1996, way back then, the British girl group, the Spice Girls, released their debut single, Wannabe, in the UK. Now, okay, so you know who the Spice Girls are, right? Let's say by sun signs, there are 2 who are fire signs and 2 who are air signs. None of them are the same sign. So, care to guess which one is a Leo? Or how about a Gemini? Okay, that only leaves Aries and Aquarius. So that's the 4 signs of the Spice Girls. Which one's the Leo? Comments. Leave it in the comments. You can even cheat and look it up. I don't care. And our birth, this one just tickles me, is 1962. It's Joan Osborne. She's an American singer-songwriter who wrote One of Us. And she was born in Anchorage, Kentucky. And that's why it fascinates me, and that's why I like it. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate everybody who indulges me in these things. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's serious. Sometimes it's just entertaining, right? And that's what we really want to do here. It's not my Venus. Well, maybe it is Venus coming through. I did fix my hair once during this. So thank you so much. I appreciate and love every single one of you. Let's recap, shall we? Today's keyword is composure, and the color is melted chocolate on asphalt. And that is all I have for you today. Be cautious. Today is a 4. Happy astrocatting.